Howdy folks, I've made a few different orgeats on the channel in the past, but I was at the store recently and I noticed that they had macadamia milk and I thought, let's make macadamia orgeat, that's fun. I'm gonna use a slightly simpler method this time than I normally do because I've already got the macadamia milk already made. We've got a couple great drinks to try. Let's check it out. So to make orgeat, normally what I do is I make my own nut milk by chopping up nuts, soaking it overnight in water, and get the nut milk that way. But of course, you can also just buy nut milk at the store. Almond milk, of course, is very common. Now, I think my more labor-intensive method can be pretty fun, and I kind of enjoy doing it that way. And I do really sort of enjoy the texture. But let's say you don't have time, you don't want to go to that much trouble, just buy almond milk and make orgeat if you want to. Or even easier yet, there's really good orgeats out on the market these days that you can just buy, like B.G. Reynolds, Small Hand Foods. They both make very nice orgeat. When I was first starting out making cocktails, finding orgeat was not that easy, and so sort of making your own was sort of the way to go. That's why I sort of started doing it in the first place. But you cannot buy macadamia orgeat, so we're gonna make it for fun. You could do this in a simple two-step process. Get macadamia milk, heat it on the stove with an equal weight of sugar, let it cool, that's it. Now, I took an extra optional step to make this a little bit deeper flavor. I got some macadamias and I toasted them in the oven. I chopped them up and I let them steep in the syrup as it was cooling. I'm hoping this will just lend a little bit of extra flavor to it, and it was simple enough to do. It reminded me a little bit of my toasted cream of coconut where I did something similar, but that worked out really well. Now, another optional step is to put rose water in your orgeat. That's a pretty standard thing to do. I put a little tiny bit into this. You don't want to be very careful with rose water because it can really overpower if you put too much in. All right, we got our orgeat. Let's just give it a quick taste just to see what we're dealing with. It's nutty. It's got sort of a vanilla flavor to me. It's sort of creamy. I mean, if you've ever had macadamias, they're very fatty. They're sort of rich. And that's coming through here in the orgeat. Delicious, honestly. I feel like these macadamias also taste a little bit sweet. I did use unsweetened macadamia milk, and you'll definitely want to use unsweetened milk for this. Because you're adding sugar, you don't want to start with something that's already sweetened. Now, for drinks, there's a couple of classic cocktails that call for orgeat that usually come to mind when I'm thinking of orgeat. One of them is the Japanese cocktail. The other, of course, is the Mai Tai. I decided to do a take on a Japanese cocktail. Japanese cocktail is a classic. It's basically an old-fashioned using brandy as the base spirit and orgeat as the sweetener. You also get a dash of bitters, of course. I'm thinking the macadamia orgeat will go really well with chocolate, so I'm using a cocoa liqueur as well. And then when the first time I tried this, I decided it was a little bit too sweet, so what I'm gonna try today is I'm gonna add a 1/4 ounce of overproof rum. I'm gonna use Plantation OFTD, and we're gonna try and balance out some of that sweetness. Now, I decided on a name for this, and it's gonna be Chocoretto, because that's chocolate in Japanese, and this is a Japanese cocktail with chocolate in it, so this is chocolate in the Japanese. These are the jokes. Okay, these are the jokes. Listen, these are the jokes. Let's mix it up. All right, drink one complete. We've got our Chocoretto. I still like that, okay? I still like it. Let's give it a taste. It's still a little bit sweet, which actually I don't mind. You get a little bit of that chocolate. The macadamia and chocolate go really well. I'm glad I put the rum in. I hadn't put the overproof rum in the last time I made this, and it was a little bit too sweet. So yeah, I have good ideas sometimes, okay? The macadamia orgeat really does come through. It's got this sort of like nutty vanilla flavor. It goes really well with chocolate and brandy, actually. Brandy and chocolate are a good combo that you should think about. All right, for drink 2, we're going in more of a tiki direction. I'm gonna use rum. I decided on Appleton Estate today, but you could use a blend of rums or whatever rums you wanted. We've got lime juice, the macadamia orgeat, and then secret ingredient, I'm putting in hibiscus liqueur that I made a few weeks ago. It's really been coming in handy. I've been using it a lot, and I'm really enjoying it. You really should make that, okay? It's just, that's a side note. Then also, to sort of tiki it up a little bit more, I'm gonna use these tiki bitters. They're sort of an orange, like a spicy orange almost. I really like them. And then I'm also going to put in 6 drops of absinthe. There's certain tiki drinks that will put in like 6 drops of absinthe, like the Jet Pilot. Add that little soupçon of absinthe flavor. Let's shake that up. We did it. Beautiful cherry, beautiful glass, beautiful little ice cubes. Let's give it a taste. That goes in a lot of directions, and it's very tiki, and I love it. You get rum and lime right up front. Okay. You get hibiscus in the mid palate, and then the orgeat comes on as sort of a vanilla, creamy kind of aftertaste. The whole thing is very peppy. I think putting that absinthe in really did something, giving it a little bit extra complexity and whatnot. Whew. Oh, that's pretty good. We might have to come up with a name for that one. Something about the deep sea or something, maybe like sunken treasure, the sunken booty. All right, conclusions. Macadamia orgeat is terrific. You could use any nut milk that you wanted to use though. I've seen cashew, there's oat milk of course, almond naturally, lots of things. This macadamia in particular goes really well with chocolate, goes well with coffee. You can put it in your coffee in the morning for a special morning coffee treat, delicious. You could use coffee liqueur, something like Mr. Black. Whatever you want. I'm here to give you permission to try some things out and have fun. This is a fun hobby. All right, let me know if there's anything you think I should try. Put it down in the comments. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.